Audio Preferences. From this lesson onwards, we are going to discuss everything about audio and its effects. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about all the audio preferences provided in Premiere Pro CS4. To get the audio preferences, go to Edit menu, go down to Preferences and click Audio. As you click it, Preferences window will appear. The very first option here is Auto Match Time, which is 1 second now. We will discuss this option in detail in a while. The next option here is 5.1 Mixdown Type. This option will work when you are working with 5.1 Dolby Digital input. By choosing options from this drop-down, you can simplify the input as front only, or front plus rear, or front plus LFE, which stands for Low Frequency Effects, or altogether, front plus rear plus LFE. For now, let's select the front only, because it's simple to use. Next option is Play Audio while scrubbing. This option, if on or checked, will play audio when you scrub the CTI over the timeline. Let's keep it checked for now. Next to this option is another option with checkbox. It's Mute Input during timeline recording. This option works when you record the audio input directly from the input device, for example, VoiceOver. You can turn on or check this option to record the direct audio. Let's keep it as it is. Next group of options is Source Channel Mapping. This is used to customize the tracks in timeline, which we will discuss in the very next lesson in detail. So just carry on and be patient. The next option is Automation Keyframe Optimization, which will be used when you are working with audio mixture. Now, let's see some of the audio hardware options too. As you click it, you will get options like Default Devices. This will vary according to the operating system. Right now, we are using Windows operating system, so we have only one option here. This is ASIO Settings button, which when clicked will take you to the Audio Hardware Settings window, where you can enable input and output devices and set buffer size for each, depending upon the system configuration. For now, let's keep default settings as they are and click OK. Next set of preferences options are Audio Output Mapping. This allows you to set where the channels are going to be heard from. You can pick the device from which you want to hear the sound from, and then you can align. This is left channel, and this is the right channel. These are the resemblance to the speakers. If you notice, these 3 dots show the 3 speakers in the front and 2 in the back. You can switch them across, but it's highly recommended that you should wire your speakers correctly, so that left is connected to left and right is connected to right. So, these are the audio preferences provided in Premiere Pro CS4. Source Channel Mapping. In this lesson, we are going to discuss a very important audio preference which we left out in the last lesson. Source Channel Mapping. So let's start. Let's go to Edit menu, go down to Preferences and click Audio. If you remember, we have left this Source Channel Mapping option in the last lesson. So let's explore it right here. Check this drop-down list, and here we have options like Use File, Mono, Stereo, Mono as Stereo, and 5.1. By default, Use File is checked as Source Channel Mapping. We have opened this particular project with this default Use File as Source Channel Mapping. Let's see what this actually is. So, click OK and come out of the Preferences window. Now, let's import some clips here. Just double-click in Project panel. From Import window, let's select this clip. Hold the Control key and click this audio clip also. Finally, click Open. Here, there are two selected files. Now, let's select this video clip first and check out this small metadata attached to it. It's a 220 50 Hz compressed mono. Now, let's click the audio clip. It is 44 100 Hz compressed, but it's a stereo file. Let's see how it will look when we place them in timeline. So, just drag the video clip first, but here the audio track is not shown beneath it. There is a valid reason for this. Let's release the video track on timeline and let me show you where the audio is. They are actually down here. This is because, as you saw this as a mono track, which is represented by a single speaker symbol here in timeline, other tracks above it are the stereo tracks, shown with dual speaker symbols. Let's remove all empty audio tracks from the timeline. For this, right-click on any of the tracks and choose Delete Tracks. As you click it, you will get Delete Tracks window. Check the Delete Audio Tracks button and all empty audio tracks. If you want to delete each track one by one, you can then choose each from this drop-down list. Click OK. As you click it, you'll see all empty audio tracks are deleted. Now, let's drag the audio clip and place it in timeline. But actually, there is no empty audio track available right now. So, it's going to make its own track here. Let's release it here and see if it has got a new audio track which is a stereo. So, this is what a Use File option will do in Source Channel Mapping. Now, to check other options, we have to first change the preferences. So, go to Edit menu, go to Preferences and click Audio. Now, let's change the source channel mapping as stereo and click OK. Once again, we have to create a new project. So, first go to File and click Close Project. So, you don't want to save the changes. Click New Project and let's give the project name as Sample 1. Click OK, and sequence name also as Sample 1. Click OK. Now again, import the same two files. If you notice the metadata for this video clip, originally it was mono file, but now, after we changed the preferences to stereo, which was forced to become stereo file. So let's check this audio file now, which was already a stereo file. Nothing changed here. It stayed the same. Now, let's see what will happen when we bring this file again on timeline. Whether it's going to make its own track as it did before when it was a mono-type video. Well, it doesn't. We have a stereo audio track associated with this video. Similarly, let's bring in the audio clip too on the timeline. Simple here to understand. It's a stereo audio file placed in a stereo track, and its behavior stays the same. Again, let's change the preferences. Go to Edit menu, go to Preferences and click Audio. Now, let's change the source channel mapping as mono and click OK. Once again, we have to create a new project. So, first go to File and click Close Project. No, we don't want to save the changes. Click New Project and let's give project name as Sample 2. Click OK and the sequence name also as Sample 2. OK. Now again, import the same two files. Let's check the metadata attached to the imported files. Remember that we have again chosen source channel mapping as mono. Now click the video clip and see if it's the same, but this audio was a stereo file, but now it's forced to convert as to mono file. Now let's bring down both of them to the timeline and see what is happening here. First, drag this video clip and release it. and once again delete the empty audio tracks as we did before. Let's now bring down the audio clip, and as before, it will make its own track. Since they are all mono tracks, by holding the Alt key, you can select any of them and hit the delete or backspace key in order to delete it. Now let's go to our last source channel map. Again, let's change the preferences. Go to Edit menu, go to Preferences and click Audio. Now let's change the source channel mapping as mono as stereo and click OK. Once again, we have to create a new project. So first go to File and click Close Project. No, we don't want to save the changes. Click New Project and let's give the project name as Sample2. Click OK and sequence name also as Sample2. Click OK. Now again, import the same two files. Click this video clip and see the metadata. It's showing stereo, which was a mono file originally. And this audio clip is showing a 2 stereo, which was stereo originally, if you remember. Let's bring this audio clip on timeline and see, it has 2 stereo tracks. So this was all about how it all works. Let's bring back the source channel mapping to the default setting for the last time. And now we are all set to proceed further from here. Working with audio and source panel. In this lesson we are going to discuss working with audio in source panel. So let's start by importing files in project panel. As you all know how to import files in project panel, just double click and select files from the import window and click open. Let's first bring the audio clip over the source panel. You can do it in 2 ways. You can just double click on the file, or you can drag the file and release it over the source panel like this. What you are seeing here is a bit unusual. It's a waveform representation of the audio. If you have any work experience in any of the audio editing software, then you will easily understand that each spic represents the music beat. As like normal, you can place in and out points anywhere you want in the audio track. Just hit the letter I to place the in point and drag the CTI. Hit the letter O to place the out point. You can bring down the selected portion of audio on timeline. Just bring the mouse pointer over this green bar. As you go there, your mouse pointer will change to a hand symbol. Once you get it, just click and drag the audio on the timeline. It will go smoothly in the audio track. Let's select the audio in timeline and hit the delete or backspace button in order to remove it from the timeline. Now let's drag the video clip and place it in source panel. Let's select some frames in the clip by placing in point and out point as we did for the audio just now. Let's zoom in a bit, and now if you take the cursor to the in or out point, the cursor will change to this icon. Right now, both audio and video associated with this clip are evenly placed. But in some cases, we need audio or video to be at the start before the video or audio. So to do this, just hold the Alt key and go over the in or out point and just drag it either left or right. It will stretch or shrink either audio or video according to your selections. Now let's drag the selected portion of the clip over the timeline. Let's zoom a bit, and if you will notice, our video and audio are not placed evenly. This is purely a situation-based option and will work only in the case-by-case scenario. So before ending this lesson, let's click in the keyboard. We are now ready for a new lesson.